They say the first million is the hardest. They're not wrong. I can tell you that for sure. But once you crack the code, then the second, the third, the fourth, well, they kind of stop feeling like a dream and just start feeling like, and rather start being, repeatable systems. Hey, 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 my lovely people. So I've started a new series called the Millionaire in a Year series. And in today's episode, I'm going to be walking you through my exact plan to make my next million. So a lot of you know my story, but for those of you who are new to my channel, I built my first million, when, during the toughest time, my husband was sick, and I don't know, by the special grace of God, somehow we managed to build this $1 million business, even when he was sick. And it was one of the hardest things I ever did. I never set out to build a business that made a million. This was never my goal. I just wanted to keep my head off water. I wanted, my goal when building the business essentially was I wanted him to be able to recover and to not ever have to worry about money, especially during his recovery. He was going through so much chemotherapy and dialysis, and it was just really tough for us as a family. And honestly, it was by the grace of God that I was able to do what I did. However, when I look back, I realized that it was actually a repeatable system. It wasn't just a fact of, I didn't just wake up and it happened. It was a repeatable system. And so I started recording, sort of looking back at my journey and creating that and turning that into a series that I'm going to be publishing here on this channel. So if you're new here, welcome. Please subscribe, stick around. I promise you that you're going to learn some amazing principles that are really going to change your life. So let me dive in. If you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure you share this video, because we are blessed to be a blessing. And most importantly, you just never know who you share this with, and this might just be the message, the sign that they were waiting for. So go ahead and hit that share button. So guys, to make this video easier to record, and I want to make sure that I get everything out to you, I've split this into 5 different sections. And in this very first section, I'm talking about mastering my millionaire model. So the first thing I did was backtrack to think, how did we get here? How did I go from pretty much a nobody? Nobody knew who I was online. I didn't have an audience. I had a couple of Facebook groups, but there was nothing happening in there. It was like tumbleweed. I had a YouTube channel that was not growing. I didn't have an email list. How did we get here? I realized that when I looked at where the majority of our income came from, surprise, surprise, it wasn't where I was spending most of my time, actually. So a lot of the things that I was spending time on that helped me, yes, to get my message across, didn't really grow me an audience, and it didn't make me money. So here are the 3 core areas where I spent my time that helped me to build a $1 million business. And I'm going to tell you what I'm doing with these 3 core areas afterwards. The first is creating a recurring revenue system. So everything I do right now, guys, I focus on building recurring revenue. I try not to engage in any offers or any products that doesn't bring repeat business. And so this is 100% of my business, and I call this the profit on demand system. With this, you can build up to 5 levels of membership, from your low ticket to your super high ticket and done for you offers. So that is the first thing, building recurring revenue systems. The second area that I'm focusing on right now for hitting my next million is using one premium offer with 10x results. I have stopped selling all the things I was selling. I literally cut my programs off. I stopped running them because not only did they take time to deliver, but they also took too much time to sell. And instead, right now, we focus on a one super premium offer that gives us a 10x result. And this is actually our done for you agency. And this specific agency serves business owners, helping them to scale with leads and recurring revenue. So this alone can contribute to 250K per month if we wanted it to. It is so easily scalable. The third thing that I'm focused on that helped us to make our first million, and again I'm repeating it for the next one, is bundled passive products. So passive products are products that, I don't really spend so much time on making, so much time on promoting, because we spend time on making them and we bundle them together, make them really, really attractive, and then we sell them. And the goal of these specific products isn't necessarily to make money, but it's to bring in buyers who then ascend on to wanting or needing our higher ticket products. So what am I trying to say here? When it comes to creating the business model for your first or your next million, in my case, my next million, right? What you want to do is this. If it doesn't lead to your million, cut it, pause it, or hand it to someone else. You've got to be really, really strict. This is what helped me to hit my first million. I cut down a lot of the things that I was doing and I focused on one or two key strategies. And again, I've streamlined even more for my next one. So I want to dive into section 2, because in this section, I want to walk you through what I call my weekly overflow for $1 million year. So guys, I have rebuilt my entire week, and I haven't just done this in the way that I've done it before. I've done this using what I call energy zones, using what I call millionaire mornings and CEO power blocks. Here is my rhythm and what I do every week, or rather every day of every week. So Mondays are my CEO day. This is where I do two key things. One part, I review numbers, I set goals, such as revenue goals, and I focus on strategy. I do this first thing in the morning. It takes me about 60 to 90 minutes. Then I take a break. The rest of the day for Mondays, I look at the marketing. So for example, is there any specific piece of content that needs to be created, or anything that I need to review from my team when it comes to content to help us to align with the revenue goals that I have just created. So that's what I do on Mondays. And if there's content that needs to be created, that is the perfect day for me to get it done. Now, speaking of content, I actually take out one day every single month to create all of the content for that month. Now, it's a tall order and it does take me, sometimes it takes a couple of days depending on the type of content that I'm creating. However, I find that batch creating my content really saves us a lot of time and helps me to get back into revenue building mode. So that's Mondays. On Tuesdays, I focus on copy and messaging. This is the day that I try to batch create all of the emails that are going out for the week. We do have a copywriter, so whenever he sends emails on Tuesdays, I try to take time out, review his emails. I end up rewriting the emails. So I use my copywriter's emails as a foundation. It's good, it's very good, but it needs to have Pam in it. Do you see what I'm trying to say? It needs to have the source, me, in it. So I spend Tuesdays to rewrite some of those emails so that they are ready to go out, because that is how we make our money, through emails. The other thing that happens on Tuesdays is also we have coaching on Tuesdays. However, on Tuesdays, I don't deliver the coaching. We have our coaches delivering the coaching. And so that means that I can take that time out and just simply focus on what needs to go out directly from me, from our audience. Wednesdays are my cash collection days. And so I split Wednesdays into two things. I don't do both of them on the same day, so it's either or. So sometimes I'm running masterclasses such as webinars, or I'm doing sales calls on Wednesdays. But Wednesdays are the days that we get paid, and this is a very, very important day for our business. Thursdays are our coaching days. I love Thursdays, and I leave it free to get in touch with all of our clients, making sure that everybody is happy. Our group coaching program, our one-on-one coaching programs, our agency clients, everybody gets Thursday. So Thursdays, I get to the end of Thursday and I'm feeling a little bit like this, because it's a big day for me. And you'd think to yourself, but Pam, why don't you just see your clients every day? I don't like to do that. It doesn't work for me, right? I love to focus on one day. When I find that when I focus one day on clients, I just get better and better and better throughout the day. That compound effect, just keeps growing, and people are generally happier and we get better results. Fridays are my soft space day. I try to take Fridays off and I use it for self-care. I get my nails done, facials, massage, all of that good stuff. I go for a swim, I have a day out on Fridays. If I must work on Fridays, I use that as admin day, or a day to, speak to some members of the team ahead of the following week, and so on. And so that's generally how my week is split. Weekends, I don't do any work. I focus on the kids. The other thing that I do when it comes to my weekly flow is this. I also protect my thinking time like I'm protecting my money, okay? Because this is where the money comes from. So here is a key takeaway for you in this section. Structure your weeks to protect your freedom. If your work feels chaotic, so will your money. So I want to take a pause quickly and share this with you. If you're on your path to truly building your first or next million, take a look at this. One of the biggest questions I get asked all the time, guys, is, Pam, how do you make money from home? Like, what is, do you do all of these strategies? To be honest with you, when I first started, yes, I did all of these things that I share with you, and they still work till today. However, there's a specific way that I actually make money online, and I have created a newsletter called Wake to Wealth, where I have listed the strategy and broken it down into activities you can do every single day that will allow you to wake up wealthier. Now, I want to get this into your hand. And so here is what you have to do to get access to this newsletter. What you have to do is use the QR code on the screen right now, or you can also check out the link below this video and in the pinned comment.
for the Wake to Wealth movement. You simply sign up with your name and email, and voila, you get onto the list. And every single day, we send you these strategies at no cost, absolutely free of charge. You definitely want to be part of this. We have around 13,000 people in this movement already. You want to be part of them. So make sure you get onto that QR code on the screen right now or in the link in the description for the Wake to Wealth movement, or just go to waketowealth.com and get started with that.
So here is section 3 of the video, and this section is called money moves and investment plans. So here is how I split the money that I make. Now, it doesn't matter how much money you make. If you have a plan for the money that you make, you're going to essentially grow. Now, here is what I do. 30% of the money gets reinvested into the business growth. So I'm talking things like ads, the team, and generally traffic. These are the 3 biggest areas that money goes into. There's also tools and software. So let's say 5 biggest areas. So ads, team, traffic, tools, and software. 40% of the income goes into wealth stacking. That means saving into the business or reinvesting that into assets, physical assets. So premises for the business or buildings for the business, and or investment funds, and so on and so forth. So money that makes more money. 20% of the money goes into travel expenses and things such as that. Sometimes I go on speaking engagements, and sometimes, they pay for my travel. Hiya. Sometimes my travel expenses are covered, sometimes it's not. And you might think, but why would you go if your travel expenses aren't covered? Honestly, sometimes what's more important to me than the money is the audience. And so I do what I need to do for my business.
So 10% of my money is set aside for legacy building. I'm talking about just giving to people who are in need, and talking about doing scholarships for my programs, supporting causes and people that I care about. This is so, so important to me when it comes to legacy building, because we are blessed to be a blessing. And the more you give, the more comes back to you anyway. So the key takeaway in this section is this. Making money is step 1. Building with that money, however, is what builds legacy. So let's dive into section 4. Section 4 is all about my mindset and millionaire habits. Let me be honest, guys, the mental game is harder than the strategy. So to keep myself grounded and focused every day towards this goal, here are the 4 key things that I do every day. Number 1 is daily mindset conditioning. So I'm talking things like journaling, affirmations, scripture, meditation. It's so important to me to feed my mind. And if you are on this journey to build your first million or your next, your mindset is the most powerful thing that will either get you there or stop you from getting there. So daily mindset conditioning is so, so important. The second thing I do is have my 10x vision reminders. You've got to have a 10x vision of yourself. So for example, if you're making 10K per month right now, then a 10X vision is where you're making 100K per month. If you're doing 100K per month, your 10X vision is making $1 million. Do you see what I'm trying to say? And it doesn't even have to be just about money, but your 10X vision is so, so important. Remind yourself every day what that 10X vision of yourself is, and then ask yourself, is everything that I'm doing, is it aligned with that vision? Am I going in the right direction? Am I taking the right steps? Am I making the right moves that will help me to get to that 10X self? Number 3 is no phone before my CEO power hour. So what is your CEO power hour? It's the moment you wake up, the first 1 hour at least. During this time, don't get on your phone doing all of that scrolling and responding to messages on WhatsApp or responding to emails. Why? Because that time should be protected to feeding your mind. So in that time, I use it for feeding my mind, body, spirit, and soul. So I read the word, I pray, I join prayer meetings online that happen at 6 a.m. for example. I do that every single day. And then I do some exercise, and I just intentionally, I don't even let my kids get in my way during this time. And they know how important this time is to me, because with this time, I'm able to become a better mom. I'm able to become a better businesswoman, and I'm able to function as I should, with energy, because I've protected this time. And last but not least, I track my wins daily. Not just tracking my revenue, but I track my energy, I track my joy, my peace, and my alignment. Has everything that I have done today, is it aligned with my purpose, with my calling? So the key takeaway for this section is this. Millionaire money doesn't come from being burnt out. It doesn't come from a burnt out, scattered version of you. So protect your peace like it's your purse. So section 5 is dedicated to what I'm not doing so I can actually hit 7 figures again. Here are some of the things that I've cut out. I'm not chasing trends. I'm not launching 27 million offers. I'm not trying to be everywhere online. So here are some things that I've said no to. Saying yes to every opportunity if it doesn't serve my vision is a no. Overcomplicating funnels. Nope. Every funnel leads to one main goal. Spending hours working without selling? Heck no. Every day I either sell or seed the sale. So here is a takeaway in this section. Most people never really make the million because they are too busy with their $10 per hour tasks instead of the $1,000 per hour strategy. So I hope that I have given you that $1,000 per hour strategy in this video, and I hope most importantly that you implement them. I've done this before. I've built $1 million systems, and now I'm doing it intentionally one more time. This time from a place of purpose, power, and peace. This isn't about money, and I'm so grateful that it's never been about money, and I truly believe that's why God has blessed me, because it's always been about building a life that honors God, a life that supports my family, a life that is in line with my calling. So if you're on your own $1 million journey, I want you to tell me in the comments, what are you focusing on this year to hit your big goal? And if you're serious about hitting that goal, then stick around with me on this channel. Make sure that you have subscribed, because this journey is about to get interesting. Once again, thank you for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, go ahead and join our family. I'd love to have you, and I'm working hard on growing this channel as well. If you love my content, please go ahead and subscribe. Before you go, don't forget to join the Wake to Wealth movement. You've heard about it several times in this video. Join that movement. But not only that, before you go, make sure you check out this video.